Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis, a breaking news reporter here at Forbes. Joining me now is my colleague, Forbes politics reporter Sara Dorn. Sara, once again, thank you so much for coming on.
Hi, Brittany. Thank you for having me.
Tucker Carlson's departure from Fox News dominated the headlines for 24 hours since the news has broken. So before we get into the reactions from the right and the left, the sudden exit comes a week after Fox settled a $787.5 million defamation suit with Dominion Voting Systems, and after a former Fox producer sued Carlson and Fox back in March. So can you give us some background on these lawsuits?
So the most recent lawsuit, his former head of booking, Abby Grossberg, sued the company, and Carlson claiming that his show in particular, she used to work for Maria Bartiromo and did not have this experience there. At least she did not say so in the lawsuit. But she said that she was subjected to a discriminatory and hostile work environment where producers regularly used unseemly language to describe women, decorated the office with photos of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi in her bathing suit. And one notable point that speaks to this alleged misogyny and something that could have contributed to Carlson's firing, which comes up in the other suit as well, is that he used a particularly vulgar term to describe Trump's female lawyer, Sidney Powell. Grossberg has since been fired from the company, but she is moving forward and doing all kinds of interviews about this lawsuit. So that would be the most recent legal action taken against Carlson. But also in recent months in the Dominion suit, court papers revealed text messages from Carlson where he not only trashed Trump and his false election fraud claims, but he went after Fox executives and said that the higher ups were incompetent liberals and used other expletives to describe them. So we don't know why he was fired, but there is a lot of speculation that his commentary about the executive office at Fox and his colleagues contributed to his firing.
Immediately after the news broke on Monday, responses poured in both from the right and the left. So I want to talk about those particular responses, starting with Republicans. Tucker Carlson has largely been described as the face of the new GOP. How did Republican lawmakers react to his abrupt exit?
So I think the best word to describe the GOP's reaction was shock. Right-wing lawmakers like Lauren Boebert, Matt Gaetz, Ron Johnson were quick to sing Carlson's praises and say what a loss it was for the network, as did Donald Trump Jr.
I do want to move on now to see what Democrats are saying. There has not been a cable news host in history, I think, in modern history at least, that Democrats have been more critical of than Tucker Carlson. So how did they respond to the news?
So Democrats cast his departure as a consequence for attacking them for years, over a decade, and his promotion of Trump's false election fraud claims. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, progressive lawmaker from New York, sent a fundraising email shortly after this news was announced, highlighting that she was attacked 75 times a day on average by Fox in 2019. So a lot of Democrats saying that this is sort of a reckoning for Carlson and the network.
Tucker Carlson obviously appeals to Donald Trump's base, but in text revealed in documents stemming from the Dominion lawsuit, this is what he said about the former president. Quote, "We are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights. I truly can't wait." And he also said that he hated Trump passionately. How did the former president respond to Carlson's ouster?
So Trump went on Newsmax last night and also expressed shock and surprise, said that he was unsure why he had departed the network, or even if he had been fired. He was finding out at the same time as everyone else. But he praised Carlson's high ratings, and like Donald Trump Jr., who also said this, suggested that Carlson might be better off without the restraints of Fox, if he did something independently or on his own. And despite those text messages that you mentioned, Trump has returned to Carlson's program in recent weeks and has been praising his depiction of the January 6th Capitol riot footage that Carlson has aired on his program as well. So what's happening behind the scenes with them, no one really knows. But in public, they benefit each other to have an amicable relationship, and they have been able to do that in recent weeks.
You also reported that other outlets were quick to offer Tucker Carlson a job after his Fox News ouster. What can you tell us about those offers?
So I'm sure he's gotten other offers, but this one struck me as particularly bizarre. The Russian state-funded TV network RT suggested on Twitter yesterday that he should come work for them. And Newsmax executives predicted viewers would transition to its network. And as I said, Trump appeared on Newsmax last night. This is a conservative television station. So lots of other channels trying to capitalize on his exit. And it will be interesting to see what he does next. I believe Megyn Kelly also suggested or raised the possibility that he could go out on his own and maybe start a podcast or something more independently.
Sara Dorn, per usual, thank you so much for your insights. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Brittany.